Hello and welcome to a delightful presentation from our Group 5 of Cognitive Science MDJ1612. And our presentation today is about the existence of sixth sense is debatable. So, by the end of this presentation, we hope that you can make up on your mind based on the facts that we have laid out to conclude that either do you believe in sixth sense or not. So, without further ado, let's start. Sixth sense, well, we are exposed to the fundamentals of sense, which are the five senses we learn. The sight, our smelling, our touch, our hearing, and lastly, our taste. Don't forget taste. But there is a sixth sense, in medical terms at least, which is known as proprioception, which is the ability of our body to keep track of each body part in the environment. So one such example is that we are able to walk and operate our phone with ease, thanks to proprioception, keeping track of our body. But there is another sixth sense that has a most supernatural nature to it, which has a paradox definition compared to its medical counterpart. This sixth sense, defined by the online Cambridge Dictionary, is known as the ability to obtain information without relying on the other five senses that we have just stated before. And one such example is that we are able to tell whether a smile is genuine or not. And we can do it without any explanation at all. It's just an enigma. And this sixth sense can manifest in a lot of ways, including gut feelings, intuition, and even instinct. And with the introduction out of the way, I shall pass the stage to my compatriots. Thank you.
My name is Johansson and I will present my part, Sixth Sense in Women. For many years, men are questioning how their girlfriend or wife are able to notice their unfaithfulness and dishonesty. Also, women have an extraordinary potential to recognize brand names, scams, labels, and talk to you or not talk to you in response. For example, according to the studies have shown that 85% of women who have gut feeling that their partner is cheating turn to be right. It is not somebody spying on you. It is the ability of sixth sense in women. Women's sixth sense is easily explained by the two factors. One is that women tend to have better bilateral use of their brain. In other words, they focus more on the right side of their brain, which is related with more intuitive or greater instinct perceptions. Second, women are raised to be more in tune with their emotions, which help them to be more perceptive or intuitive. Throughout history, human beings have always used the supernatural things to explain things that usually happen. Even in today's scientific world, there are still many men who believe that women have a special sixth sense. For example, women can tell if a guy is a player or he is a nice little boy. Women have a sixth sense because they can always sense the unknown without being told. They can sense insecurity by observing your actions. There is a quote saying that never underestimate the power of women's sixth sense. Some women can recognize the game before you even play it.
Hi, I am Sharifah Nuraini and now I will talk about the existence of sixth sense in animals. The existence of a sixth sense in animals is available even though the scientific evidence is slim. Animal senses have evolved through generations to allow them to notice sounds, smells, vibrations, and other sensations that humans are unable to detect. There are many types of animals that are known to have sixth sense, and I will talk about four of them. And the first example is the pigeon. Pigeons have a unique capacity to detect the magnetic field of the Earth called magnetoreception, and they use it as a compass to navigate long distances. According to scientists, pigeons have a magnetic containing structures at their beaks, and this provides the birds the senses of spatial orientation and allowing them to locate themselves in space. The second one is weather loaches. This animal, often called a weather fish, has a remarkable capacity in order to sense the present changes, and this animal employ this sense to keep track of their buoyancy underwater and adjust for the fact that they don't have a swim bladder. The Weberian apparatus is responsible for the skill, and it is found in various fish species and helps in underwater hearing. Thirdly is mantis shrimp. Mantis shrimp have a polarization-related sixth sense. In order to communicate and find their body, they use a linear polarized light and a UV and green wavelength. They are also known as the only animal to be capable of circularly polarized light and have a larger variety of signals that only other mantis shrimp can see and interpret. Last but not least, I will talk about sharks. Sharks and rays have an ability known as electroreception to perceive electrical fields in their environments. This sixth sense is located in jelly-filled tubes known as Lorenzini ampullae. The hammerhead shark helps them to scan a larger area of the ocean floor, and this allows them to improve their electroreceptive sense. When the shark has a refined sixth sense, they can detect their prey through electrical charges that are released when a fish contracts its muscles, as the salt water is a good conductor of electricity. And these all unique characteristics show that sixth sense in animals exist, in which help them to sense the Earth's magnetic fields in order to navigate through the air, land, and sea.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I am Nosha Mimi Sazwani and I'm going to present two parts, which are the sixth sense in paranormal activity and what does the sixth sense feel like. So now I'm going to present the first part, which is the sixth sense in paranormal activity. In times of need or loneliness, having a pet by your side is the best thing ever, right? Because they can make you smile as soon as you enter your home. But for all the beautiful things about pets, they do have the frightening side, especially for the dogs, who seems to have the paranormal sense that human lacks. For an example, when you're alone at your home with your dog, their head suddenly goes up and staring while barking at something that doesn't exist. According to the pet psychologist, which is known as the Marty Miller, both humans and animals do have a sixth sense. However, humans will judge or deny what they feel, whereas dogs do not. Besides, dogs do not think like the humans do. They are more open to trusting the feeling and acting on this feeling accordingly. They may shiver, pant, thrill, or grow frightened when the barometric freezes chance or may not react at all. Furthermore, a dog's vision is much sharper than humans, so they may detect something that we don't notice or can see something that is terrifyingly unexpected. Besides having the better visions, dogs also have the better hearing ability than most humans do. That's why they are more likely to sense the ghosts or parallel universe footsteps than humans. Although we might not have enough evidence that shows a dog have the sixth sense, but it is utterly possible that dogs can see and sense the appearance of the ghosts. So this is the explanation for the sixth sense in paranormal activity.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Atika binti Ahmad and my metric number is 80561. So today I would like to present about sixth sense in children. Did you guys know that a basic sixth sense is present in all children at birth? It is like their principal means of interacting with the physical world. When they use the sixth sense as learning tools, these intuitive talents can improve communication, social connection, compassion, and creativity. In addition, children, among other things, have the potential to connect with an invisible world. This is that some people call it is a sixth sense. There are some examples of sixth sense in children. The first example is imaginary friends. As we all know that it is very uncommon for small children to have imaginary friends, but if they do, it's possible that they are talking with a spirit guide. Actually, only people who are capable of communicating with the imaginary friends have a sixth sense because it is difficult for a person to communicate with his or her spirit guide. That is why children have a sixth sense. The second example is children know about things before they happen. Do you have child that able to detect something that hasn't happened yet? Do you know why? It is because children receive prediction in their daily vision or vivid dreams. Kids frequently discuss topics that appear at first glance. They may, however, be attempting to articulate and share their future vision. In other circumstances, children are unaware that their vision are of events that have yet occurred. They describe what they have seen or experienced. In conclusion, children would frequently live in their own world while also inhabiting the other world that exists within our reality. It is enabling them to be who they are if they learn to connect with their sixth sense and trust themselves. Next, I would like to present about sixth sense of blind person. All of us have a sixth sense. It's either we just choose to ignore it most of the time because it is only a whisper among the noise of laughter. For blind people, to regain the power of sight usually requires a miracle. They learn to develop the sixth sense when you lose a sense, such as sight, because they will rely on it more. Why are blind persons generally credited with having a sixth sense? If they appear to have seen some supernatural sign on occasionally, it is just because being blind forces them to employ their other sense to a significantly higher level than individuals who have sight. The common example of sixth sense in blind person is a man who is blind was able to accurately navigate a maze because he could see. Did you ever think how blind people can go to supermarket by themselves? Although he was still blind, his mind devised a plan to get him out of there, despite the fact that he has no conscious awareness of his surroundings. His brain is somehow keeping track of them by processing the electrical messages that travel through his eye and optic nerve, even though the normal visual part of his brain is damaged beyond repair. To use a scientific phrase, his mind isn't producing any visual qualia.
Hello, my name is Nurul Shafika Akasha binti Sahad, number matrix 78473. In this topic, we have conducted a questionnaire to ask the respondents about their belief on sixth sense. These respondents consist of students from Unimas and not from Unimas. We conduct the survey using Google Form and the survey is open for a week. From the survey, it can be concluded that majority of the respondents believe that sixth sense is real, and most of them are female. Most of the respondents that believe in sixth sense is in the age between 19 to 21. There are many respondents with various ethnicities such as Bisaya, Sino Kadazan, Iranun, Bidayu, and Tombonuo. From the survey, we can conclude that most of Melayu ethnic believe in sixth sense. The survey states that 37.6% of the respondents have experienced sixth sense in their life. 30.1% have not experienced sixth sense, and 32.3% may experience sixth sense throughout their life. Some of the examples of sixth sense that the respondents have experienced are foreseeing danger from far, the ability to see ghosts, read people's emotion, and strong body. This shows that sixth sense is not just about reading mind. From the survey, majority of the respondents agreed that sixth sense exists in our daily life. Thus, we can conclude that sixth sense exists.
Hello there, my name is Raven Ali. Is it possible to have sixth sense? And does all people have sixth sense? Yes, all humans have at least six senses. And according to a new study, it is called as perceptions. And it may be genetically determined. Perceptions, also known as kinesthesia, refers to your body ability to to detect movement, motions, and location. It's present in every muscle movement you make. If you didn't make perceptions, you couldn't move without thinking about your next step. You can walk without thinking about where you're going to put your foot next thanks to perceptions. It enables you to close your eyes and reach for your elbow. The anatomy of perceptions. Perceptions is caused by sensory receptor in your body and your nervous system. The majority of the receptors are situated in your muscle, joints, and tendons. When you move, your receptor and send detailed messages to your brain about your actions and where you are. These messages are processed by your brain, which then, with your vision, neurological system, and vestibular system, to generate your impressions of where your body is and how it works.
Moving on to the second part, which is what does the sixth sense feel like? Most of us know about the 5 common sense, which are taste, sight, smell, touch, and the last one is hearing. But what about the sixth sense? Everyone is born with the sixth sense, yet don't know about the existence of the sixth sense, nor understand how it works. Actually, the sixth sense acts as a guide for you, making it easier for you to distinguish between the wrong and correct option. Before making a decision or taking a move forward, usually your sixth sense is the one who helps you to get those positive and negative feelings of something. For an example, do you ever heard about some people who suddenly cancel their ticket train or ticket flight the last moment because of their feelings, which they didn't feel good or right about it, and then later they found out that the train or the flight they are supposed to get in got crashed at somewhere else? Those sixth sense are the one that make us get this feeling and prevent our lives from harming. This is all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Shuhada and I'm going to continue to the next part. So for today, I'm going to explain on how do we use our sixth sense. And is our sixth sense or gut instinct is right in relationship? Moving to the first part, how do we use our sixth sense? First of all, we can use our sixth sense by interacting and communicating with people. When you interact with someone, you will acquire all of the information including of their attitude, body language, and actions. For example, when you meet a stranger who is messy, have a strange gaze at you, use a harsh word, you may believe that he is insane or something wrong with him. Therefore, you could perhaps avoid any contact with him before anything bad happens to you. The second ways are by remembering your past experiences, because your past has shaped your perception of yourself. For example, when someone who really trusts lies to you, you will find it difficult to trust anyone else. So you become more cautious when you're looking for someone you can trust. Next, practicing pranayama, which is a breath regulation technique similar to yoga. Pranayama can help us to strengthen the connection between our body and mind. It employs a several breathing technique, including a vigorous technique and below technique. Our minds are very unstable, and they are influenced by the things we see and we hear. But pranayama can help us focusing our minds in one thing. Lastly, by going back to nature, it will help you reconnect with yourself because you can recognize everything that happens around you when you're going back to nature. In result, it can increase your sensitivity towards surrounding. So this is a few ways you can try later on to increase your sensitivity towards surrounding.
Back with me once again. You may have questions about when you should trust your instinct. I'm here to talk to you about that. I'm giving you 4 examples or rather situations on when you should trust your instincts. The first is when it comes to making deliberate situation. When faced with time constriction, you don't have time to go all over the detail. You just have to make a split-second decision, and you should use instinct for that. The second is when you involve self-care or self-need. No one knows better yourself than yourself. Instincts is a part of you, and you should trust it. Third one is when making a decision that will decide either you'll be living or you'll be dying. So, no-brainer, instincts is the way you should trust. And lastly is important in sensing an off feeling. Someone may look innocent or docile, but when your instincts say something's off with them, definitely something's wrong with them. You should trust it, and you'll never regret it.
How do I grow or improve my sixth sense. We all have sixth sense, but we cannot connect with them because of all the noise surrounding us. So the first step in connecting with your sixth sense is to take some time to relax, find a peaceful space or place, and communicate with your inner self. It is crucial for us to improve it to live a better life. Meditate is the easiest way to work with your sixth sense. Meditations relax your mind, which is necessary if you want your sixth sense to work with you. When you meditate, your mind feels calmer and more relaxed. This allows you to hear your inner voice more clearly.
Now let's go through about overthinking and sixth sense. People often get confused about these two things. What is overthinking? Overthinking is a condition when a person is having a repetitive thought that will paralyze the person with feeling anxious, constant worries, and feeling overwhelmed, resulting in many complications. On top of that, overthinking is associated with depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, and borderline personality disorder. There are some signs that show you might be an overthinker, which is you always question yourself with what if questions, and then you will always having trouble to sleep at night, and you will always replaying embarrassing moments repeatedly. Now, what is sixth sense? Sixth sense is infamous with the ability to foresee danger. Actually, sixth sense is our proprioceptive system. John and Crowe said this system helps humans to get an early warning to help them to escape. Proprioceptive system is responsible in providing information to an individual brain about their body's position to an object. It also tells the individual about the amount of effort being used to move your body and regulates both emotional and response and sensory input. For an example, a ball comes direct from a front at full speed and you manage to dodge it. This is when the proprioceptive system comes in handy. Thus, people often label it as what they call sixth sense. Now, the difference between overthinking and sixth sense is overthinking is having repetitive thought while sixth sense is having gut feelings. Overthinking does not help humans to escape from danger, but sixth sense does. Overthinking causes worrying, but sixth sense causes someone to able to move their body and balance their body. And the last one is overthinking is associated with mental disorder, while sixth sense is not or barely associated with mental disorder.
Moving to the second part, is our sixth sense or gut instinct is right in relationship? Yes, I believe sixth sense or gut instinct is right in relationship, but it is not always true because sometimes human gut instinct can be wrong too. In certain situations, listening to your gut instinct can help you to avoid unhealthy relationship. We have a moment that we have a gut feeling, right, whether it is a good or bad, and it can affect our judgment. When we see someone who is special, the butterfly in our stomach will run wild. But when you find yourself on the other side, you might experience like nausea and shattering. Another example, if you rewind back on your own romantic relationship history, you might be frightened if someone who wronged you in the past will do the same things again in the future. But if someone was a really great partner, you could tell right away that they were special. When it comes to love, people frequently say like, I just knew it, I knew it from the first step, and love at the first sight is an effect of intuition. I think that's all from me, thank you.
In conclusion, sixth sense is real and in medical terms known as proprioception, which is defined as the ability to detect the elements of our bodily parts in relations to the surrounding. Next, there are huge differences between overthinking and sixth sense. We can feel that sixth sense or gut instinct is correct, but in relationship, however, this is not always the case because human gut instinct can be incorrect as well. We all experience the experiences where we have a gut feeling, whether it is good or terrible, and it can influence our decisions. Not only humans, but animals also have their own sixth sense. We can use our sixth sense by interact and communicate with people, remembering your past experiences, practicing pranayama, and going back to nature. We can grow or improve our sixth sense by write down what you dream, trataka, and lastly, meditate.